Well, let's wrap up with the conclusion and the epilogue. I mean, one of the things that I've noticed is that this insistence that our ancestors, let's say, were motivated by nothing but oppression and power is perhaps designed to be something that's profoundly demoralizing to modern people. And I think that's especially true of young men, because the implication is that their ambitions are nothing but the manifestation of a sort of narrowly self-centered greed, that they're feeding nothing but patriarchal oppression at every level of social organization, from marriage up to the state itself. And that even if they manage to, and not only are their ambitions manifestations of that patriarchal oppression, say, it's also part of a destructive planetary force. And that seems to me to be profoundly demoralizing. If we lose respect for our ancestors, like a balanced respect, I think we simultaneously lose respect for our institutions and for ourselves. And I really think that's happening in a widespread manner at the moment. And that seems to me to be nothing but bad. And so you wrote your epilogue and your conclusion. What did you conclude overall in terms of what you would hope for and recommend for the future?
Yeah. So just in the conclusion, I craft an overall judgment about the British Empire, and I say, we end up with, and I list them, a list of evils and a list of goods. There's no way we can say that one outweighed the other. You can't do it that way. I mean, how many emancipated slaves are worth how many people killed at Emirates in 19? You can't do it that way. What you can do, and I seek to demonstrate that, is to say that the empire was not essentially racist or exploitative or given to unjustified violence. And in addition, you've got these growing humanitarian strands in the 1800s and the liberal political strand whereby the empire relaxes into independent states. And then when does the empire exhaust itself? During the Second World War, fighting Nazism, which has to say something good about what it had become. So that's how that's what I conclude about the empire. But to your question about the present relevance of all this, and this is why I wrote the book, it wasn't just for historical reasons at all. It was because, I noticed that in current debate in the English-speaking world, the focus is entirely by the postmodernist or anti-colonial critics, entirely on European British empires. The fact that Arabs and Africans and Native Americans did empire, or the Chinese or the Japanese, doesn't matter. It's all about the white empires. Why is that? And I read that as being because this is an assault on the record and the self-confidence of the West. Because if it's true that our countries, Canada, Britain, Australia, New Zealand, if our countries were built on racism and exploitation, then that surely undermines our confidence in the institutions that we've created.